This is a Polestar one, and I'm kind of late to the game in reviewing and making a video on this car. There have been made a ton of videos on YouTube, and a lot of those videos talk about it being so expensive and it not being worth the money or people not understanding this car. Well, in my opinion, this Polestar one, which starts at $150,000 in the US or 150,000 euros in Europe, is worth every penny and some. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys why I believe that is the case. Okay, so let's start this video by talking about and going through the negatives so that they are out of the way. Okay, so the biggest negative people have about this car is the fact that it has a 4-cylinder engine up front. So not a V6, not a V8, not a V12, a 4-cylinder. And, that is not the most exciting. And, it is basically front-wheel drive based, this platform, because it being a hybrid, you have the electric motors on the rear axle, so you don't have any physical connection between the front and the rear wheels. But the engineers have worked around that, so you have 218 horsepower on the rear axle, and then you have 326 on the front axle. So it's still power-wise more front bias, though you'll be hard pressed to actually feel that on the road, and we're going to get back to driving dynamics later. But yeah, so 4-cylinder engine at $150,000. Yeah, I totally get why that's not the biggest upside, or it's not actually an upside, but still it does have the performance. It is 619 horsepower, so once you not on this road, once you step on the throttle, it really does get going. But it isn't the fastest car, and that's also a complaint that people have had. For $150,000, it only does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.2 seconds. And yeah, I can totally get that. I mean, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.2 seconds isn't by any stretch of the imagination slow, not even leisurely, but it's not the fastest. So this isn't the fastest. It's a heavy car, 2.35 tons. So I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't feel as fast, actually. I mean, I had the Polestar 2 a few days prior to having this, and that felt quicker. I mean, the immediate, the torque from the electric motors, and that felt quicker than this. So I can totally understand why, if you want ultimate performance or the most bang for your buck, this isn't the car for you. But you're not buying this car for its outright performance. And then the last negative thing I want to talk about is the price. So people have been saying that, well, 4-cylinder engine, or for this, this performance, $150,000 is expensive. And I totally disagree. If you're saying like 4-cylinder engine, yeah, it's expensive, but that's not what you're buying here. It's only part of the package. It's like saying this car is expensive because it has metallic paint. I mean, metallic paint is part of what you get, but that's not the reason for getting a car. The reason for getting this car, and I'm going to say it, I think it is a bargain. As I said in the intro, for $150,000, what you're getting in this package is a bargain. So that's what we're going to get to next. Now that we have gotten those few negative things out of the way, let's get to the good stuff, the juicy stuff. And I want to start with the exterior design of this car. And I'm just going to, let you guys enjoy it. I'm just going to stand here still just for 5 seconds and let you just enjoy the sight. I mean, look at this, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. In my opinion, this is the most beautiful, the most striking and stunning car design in the past 20, 30 years. I mean, it's so elegant, it's so timeless, and of course you have supercars, but I don't, find supercars that, you know, beautiful. They are stunning, they are awesome and crazy, but this is just a beautiful and elegant design without any crazy spoilers or air intakes or, you know, scoops or anything. It's just a pure 3-box car design done properly. And in the flesh, it's so much more beautiful than in videos or in photos. I mean, those medias just don't do this car justice. If you have a chance to go to a Polestar dealership in the city you live in, take that opportunity and see this car in the flesh, because it's such a stunning car. It's so low and so wide. And take a look at this, guys. I'm gonna hunch down and look at this. Look how low and look how wide it is. It's so beautiful. And a friend of mine, we were riding around in this Polestar one a few days ago, and after a few hours on the road, I dropped him off at his place, and we were just sitting here, just in awe-inspiring this car, just looking at it, the interior and everything. But yeah, we're gonna get to the interior in a bit. But we sat there thinking, like, what are the most beautiful car designs in the past 20 or 30 years? So this is definitely on that list. And then, like, maybe an Aston Martin DB7. Oh, such a beautiful car. Like, a few Aston Martins, in my opinion, like DBS, last generation, and the new DBS Superleggera. And then, like, Ferrari 812 Superfast. And, I may be missing a few cars there, but, everything we could think about were cars that cost 2, 3, or 4 times the price of this. And I mean, getting this car design for $150,000, I mean, I don't care about the underpinnings, I don't care about the engine, because this is the most beautiful car design below, I don't know, at any price point, in my opinion. It's such a stunning car. And at $150,000, that is a bargain, guys. That is a steal. Then we step inside and we have the interior, which in my opinion is just every bit as special as the exterior. And some journalists have been complaining that, well, it's just a Volvo interior. You're paying $150,000 for a Volvo interior. Well, when this interior came out in 2016, it was being compared to Rolls-Royce and Bentley, because it was so nice, so elegant, and the materials and switchgear were of such high quality. And they haven't just, lifted the interior out of the S90. They have taken the dashboard, the steering wheel, and then the center console. So all the bits that are super high quality. But what they have done, they have wrapped everything in leather. So the dashboard, the lower part of the dashboard with the glove box, the center console, the roof, the sun visors. I mean, everything in here is covered in leather, steel, or carbon fiber. It's such a nice and special place to sit. And then you have this expansive glass roof, which just gives you an airy feeling. And the shoulder line of the car is so high and you sit so low. It just feels so special. And then you have this carbon fiber throughout the interior, which is just super high quality. The doors are bespoke, the seats are bespoke. So everything, touch and feel is of high quality. And then you have the rear seats, which are just on a different type of level. So you have the speaker covers on top of, the hatch shelf that just looks super awesome. The Barrett & Wilkins sound system and all the other bits of that sound system just looks so nice in here. It just fits so well. But then you have the ISOFIX anchor points on top of the seat backs, which are just pieces of jewelry. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. The only thing I wish they covered in leather was the airbag cover. I've been complaining about this for many years in Volvos. And, well, before you go say that, well, that's because of safety reasons. Well, every other manufacturer in the business at this price point will give you an leather covered airbag cover. So that is no, excuse. But other than that, this is such a stunning interior. Something that is very surprising about this car, especially considering it is 2.35 tons, is based on a front-wheel drive architecture, and you don't have a drive axle between the front and rear wheels. It is surprisingly dynamic and balanced to drive. You can even power oversteer with this car. Out at a roundabout, I was totally caught off guard, you know, just powering out at a roundabout. It pushed wide with the rear end. So yeah, it just doesn't feel anything close to its weight. I mean, going throttle here and carry immense speed, and it's balanced through the corners and no roll, and it just feels so positive. Okay, holy moly. Okay, throttle oversteer there. So I mean, yeah, the engineers have done an amazing job with the driving dynamics. The steering is a bit light, a little bit over boosted for my taste, but it has feel. It actually has feel. So I am genuinely surprised at how good, well balanced and dynamic this Polestar is to drive. This being a plug-in hybrid, it kind of has a dual personality. So total system output is 619 horsepower. You have the front engine, which is a 2-liter 4-cylinder from Volvo, supercharged, 326 horsepower. And then you have a generator between this 8-speed transmission and that motor, so giving it a 71 horsepower bump. And then you have on the rear axle with no, as I mentioned, no drive axles, no physical connection in between. You have 2 electric motors, so 218 horsepower on the rear axle. And then you can put this car into pure mode by the drive mode selector down here, and then it shuts down the front engine, and then it becomes an EV. So with 218 horsepower, it's not slow, it's not that fast either, but it's perfectly adequate. I mean, you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. And with a 28 net kilowatt hour battery capacity, you have a WLTP range of about 125 kilometers, though I've seen like 113, 14 in the real world. Still not bad for a plug-in hybrid, but yeah, through town here, this basically becomes an EV when put into pure mode. Super silent, super nice to drive, and well, there's a part of me that wish that they just made this whole thing as an EV, but you know, they haven't said anything official, but in my opinion, I think it's, you know, the limitations of the SPA1 platform that, you know, they can't squeeze a bigger battery pack into this, so this is what they had to do. But yeah, so you could basically, you know, own this car, drive it Monday till Friday to work, to the store, to your friends on pure electricity. And that is quite cool, quite amazing. And then you could take it out on a long trip on the weekends, and then you could, you know, enjoy the full drivetrain, and you wouldn't have any range limitations. But still, I think you could take this thing out on a weekend drive in pure electricity mode. You know, just imagine, you know, spring is in the air, cruising in total silence. Yeah. So I've had this car for a few days now, and I've basically driven it like 98% on only electricity, and actually charged it up. So you can connect it to a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger. I haven't, you know, measured the time that it takes to fast charge it because, yeah, well, I can be bothered, but I haven't had time. I've, you know, just driven it and had my experience that way. But I don't think people are going to take this on a long trip only driving, you know, on electricity. You may, but I don't think that's, you know, the main usage of this car. But even here out of town, even when you put, yeah, it's spirited in EV mode. The Polestar 1 is basically a concept car from 2013 made into reality. Almost the whole car is built out of carbon fiber or carbon reinforced plastics. It's only the floor pan that is basically steel. So this whole thing is hand built and bespoke. And I mean, what other car can you get for 150,000 euros, $150,000 that looks like this on the interior, on the exterior is hand built out of carbon fiber. Yeah, you could probably get this performance, you could get this level of luxury and interior appointments for this price, but as a package, and it being the hybrid with the longest range of any plug-in hybrid out there in the world, and it being only made in 1,500 examples worldwide, total production 500 each year for 3 years, makes this one of a kind and an anomaly in the in the matrix. I mean, this is something exceptionally special, and we probably won't see anything like this out of Polestar again or out of any car manufacturer, because this is unique. And for that reason, I think this is worth every penny, because you could every day out of the week, any time of year, any decade, go out and buy a Porsche 911, a performance Jaguar, an Aston Martin. You could buy anything else, but this is truly special. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.